Greetings if you have your Hyundai and you're driving down the interstate or the road and all of a sudden you see gigantic paint chips hit your windshield and you're like, what the heck is that? You get out to examine your Hyundai, and I don't care what model it is. It could be an Elantra, a Tucson, whatever that you have, model that you have, and you realize, oh my gosh, on my hood, there's not just a little small chip of paint coming off of my Hyundai. No, we're talking about carpets of paint. We're talking about all the way down to the primer, literally peels of it, where you could almost unpeel it. Sometimes you can. On the hood, on the roof, on the side of the doors, on the back trunk. And you're like, well, what the heck is this? So unfortunately, this is happening with a lot of Hyundai owners. And we're talking about vehicles made, Hyundais made within the last 10 to 12 years primarily. And it's done usually in the colors of white, pearl, silver, and mostly blue. It could be with some other colors, but it's usually primarily those colors. And like I said, it's multiple different models of Hyundai that this is happening to. Anywhere from 2011 models all the way up into 2023 and 24 models I've heard that this issue is happening. So the first thing to ask yourself, well, do I have a warranty on this car still? What year is it? Or what mileage is it that my warranty runs out? Well, usually with paint, it's not going to be an issue with mileage. It's going to be more of an issue with year. And go ahead and look it up and see if you have that warranty or an extended warranty. And a lot of times with these issues with the paint, Hyundai will actually extend the warranty on it because there's such an issue with it. And then see whatever it is. You might have to pay a $300 or $400 deductible for them to do it. But in order to paint your Hyundai, it will cost you anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 to do it right. So if you have to pay the $300 or $400, just go ahead and take it on the chin, pay it, and get your Hyundai painted. Okay. And I know we've had these issues with Hyundai with the key ignition and people taking off with them and stealing them and everything else, which has just been a nightmare for so many Hyundai owners. What to do from this point if you look and the warranty is not existent anymore, there's no extended warranty, and you even have an older model Hyundai? Well, first thing is look and see if there's a class action lawsuit. You may have gotten a letter or a postcard in the mail that says that your vehicle, your Hyundai, is under a class action lawsuit, and will you sign under here in order to send it in? I don't know if I would highly recommend doing that. They're doing is they're collecting the money once the lawsuit's settled with Hyundai, and then they distribute the funds. Unfortunately, the attorneys get the majority of the money, and you may get a fraction of the money that you are owed to in order to paint your car. If you think you're going to get $6,000 or $8,000 from a class action lawsuit, I'm telling you that's not going to happen. So what I would do is I would take hat in hand and go to the dealership that you bought your Hyundai from, wherever it is, and go in there and get a separate appointment with the management. And I do not just call over the phone and say, hey, my paint's falling off. What am I going to do? They're not going to respect you. They're just going to put you on a hold, and they're not going to respect you whatsoever. You need to go in there, dress up, hat in hand, and have an appointment with the manager and bring your Hyundai and saying, this is what's happened to my car. It's not under warranty, but look at my paint. These Hyundais shouldn't be doing this. What do you want to do? And be very stern and very firm that you want something done for it, okay? If they offer you anything less than $5,000 or $6,000, on a newer model, we're talking about that you bought within the last 5 to 6 years, don't take it. Now, if they're going to give you something for like a 2011, 2012 model, and they want to give you $3,000, $4,000, go ahead and take it, and then find a way to get it painted yourself and try to get someone cheap to do it, because your vehicle is already 10 years old anyway, or 9 years old anyway. But if you've got a newer model vehicle, Hyundai, and they're not willing to work with you, just enforce to them that they need to make things right. And if they don't, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go and get a professional picket sign. We're talking about, something like, 5 feet by 4 feet, whatever, and have professional lettering on it. It might cost you $50 to make. Okay, you might want to make a couple of them. And what I want you to do is I want you to drive your Hyundai as close to the dealership as possible without being on the property, because they'll just kick you out. But if you can park that vehicle as close to the Hyundai dealership as possible, do it on the weekends, preferably Saturdays and Sundays, and park as close to the dealership as possible with your Hyundai with the chip painted. And I want you to hold that picket sign up with their most busiest times of the week. Heck, Christmas would be an awesome time, or New Year's, and say Hyundai paint pills, do not buy, or make some creative sign, and literally show this to everybody that's going to the dealership on public property. If you can't park your car near to where someone could see, that's okay. Just go with the picket signs. Take you a cooler out there. And you might say, why do I have to do that? Why? This is not going to work. Yes, it will work. I promise you it'll work. If they lose one sale from that picket sign, which they will, of someone going in there, that will cost them See, it won't cost them $6,000 or $8,000 to fix, because they'll do it with their own manpower and their own technicians and their own body mechanics, and they'll be able to do it for $2,000. Okay, it would only cost them $2,000 to fix your Hyundai, 2 or 3. Okay, with manpower and paint and everything else, primer. Okay, if they lose one sale from you picketing, that will lose them the money. They should have just got your car fixed in the first place. If they lose 2 sales, that's a big deal. That's taking money out of their pockets. I'm telling you, the word will spread. The salespeople on the area will start talking. They'll tell you to go. They might call the cops on you. There's nothing they can do if you're on public property. If you're on the sidewalk or whatever, and I don't care if you're close to them or not, and it will take their sales. Because what are they going to do? Sue you? Okay, they owe you money. All right? And then just pick it, and you'll have people stopping by, and just make something very creative. Call the news organization in your hometown for the place that you got the dealer that you bought the car from, dealership. Contact them, see if they'll do a write-up on it. I guarantee you, someone from the managerial office will come down and say, "Hey, come in. We'll make a settlement." Okay, and again, do not take anything less than $6,000 or $8,000 for your car paint. And that's my workaround. And I don't care if you have to do it more than once. And you might say, "Well, this is costing me time." That's okay. How long does it take for you to make $6,000 or $8,000 tax free? It's worth it. I don't care if you have to go there a month in a row every weekend, 2 months in a row. Eventually, they're going to make it right, and I guarantee it won't take that long. It'll probably take 2 weekends, and they'll be able to make it right. You're using your First Amendment constitutional right in order to show your grievance, and it's not bribery. It's just you're showing your First Amendment right, and they will settle. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe.